3 years after the Civil War ended on May 5, 1868, the head of the Organization of Union Veterans, the Grand Army of the Republic, established Decoration Day as a time for the nation to decorate the graves of the war dead with flowers. Major General John A. Logan declared that Decoration Day should be observed on May 30th and directed his post to decorate graves in 1868 with the choicest flowers of springtime. By the early 1900s, the day had become a day to celebrate all American soldiers who had died while serving in the military. And in 1967, it was legally named Memorial Day. Memorial Day remains one of America's most cherished patriotic observances. The spirit of this day has not changed. It remains a day to honor those who have died defending our freedom and democracy. From Appomattox to Normandy, from the shores of Tripoli to the streets of Boston or the jungles of Vietnam, for those who have given their lives for our freedoms we enjoy, may they rest in peace. May their good work of seeking justice for the oppressed and the peace of all mankind be rewarded and never forgotten in our hearts. May we never fail to remember the enormous cost of the freedoms which we enjoy. To ensure the sacrifices of American fallen heroes are never forgotten, all Americans are encouraged to pause wherever they are at 3 p.m. local time on Memorial Day for 1 minute of silence to remember and honor those who had died in service to the nation. And let this day be a day of honoring those who have laid down their lives that we may be free.
This Memorial Day, take time to reflect on the Marines and sailors that have paved the way for us. This year is an especially noteworthy one as we commemorate the 75th anniversary of our victory in World War II. The stories of the Battle of World War II are old stories, but their glory is forever. As we celebrate this Memorial Day, 75 years earlier, Marines, sailors, and soldiers were mired in mud on Okinawa. Preparations for the mainland invasion were well underway, with catastrophic casualty estimates. But within a few short months, the war was over with an Allied victory. That is the legacy that we have been passed. The legacy came to us at great cost of human life, and our warriors today honor their actions with sacrifices of their own.
Today, we honor the men and women who made the ultimate sacrifice for the freedom and safety of us all. Whether they served in the forests of Europe, the islands of the Pacific, the frozen mountains of Korea, the jungles of Southeast Asia, or the deserts of the Middle East, their memories live on in our core.
Although present conditions do not allow us to attend memorial services with our military communities, or to gather and place flags or flowers on graves, we can still take a moment to remember the fallen. Today, I encourage you to share a photo, make a post, or recite a memory of a loved one who served and is no longer with us. Although time may separate us from the past and social distancing separates us physically in the present, on 25 May, we are united by reverence to the warrior spirit that lives on. Semper Fidelis.
Hi, I'm Lieutenant General Dan Hokanson, Director of the Army National Guard. This Memorial Day weekend, please join us in remembering the men and women of America's armed forces who gave their lives in defense of our nation, its values, and our freedoms. We remain thankful for their sacrifices, even in the midst of today's current events. While parades and public gatherings may be canceled, we can still show our pride and honor to those who have made the ultimate sacrifice. Please join me during the National Moment of Remembrance, a call to voluntarily and informally pause at 3 p.m. local time on Monday, May 25th, Memorial Day. Let's join together to commemorate America's most solemn holiday and reflect on and remember those Americans who died in service to our nation. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Major General Greg Porter, and I, along with our State Command Chief Josh Moore and our State Command Sergeant Major Harold Pafford, wanted to take just a few minutes to send you a Memorial Day message. We're down here in Cheyenne, in front of the Fallen Warrior Memorial. I can't think of a more appropriate place to remember all those who sacrificed, who made the ultimate sacrifice for our state and nation. Because this day is about remembrance. We have a long history of which we can remember. From the earliest days of America, our only armed force was the militia, the Minutemen, who stood ready to take up arms and defend their communities as their sword and shield.
That militia changed gradually over time into what we now know as the National Guard. To this day, we continue to uphold the tradition of the Minuteman, remaining the sword and shield for our state and nation, standing ready and trained to help in times of need.
As we know, preserving that freedom we hold close to our hearts does come at a price. And we dedicate today to honoring those men and women who have paid the ultimate sacrifice. Unfortunately, given the current situation, many events, ceremonies, and memorials have been canceled. But I encourage you to take some time today to pause and reflect on the sacrifices of those fellow citizen soldiers and citizen airmen, losses suffered by friends, neighbors, and the community.
So if you would, take some time to remember our fallen today, whether that's by flying the American flag, participating in that moment of silence at 1500, or just spending some time in your own mind, remembering all those who have sacrificed. Peace be with you on this Memorial Day, and thank you for all that you do.
Present. Pull. right shoulder. Huh.